Hello, probers.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome to But It Was Aliens, the extraterrestrial comedy podcast brought to you by two former MIBs who are out here hiding in plain sight, bringing you the truth about the extraterrestrial.
Mibbing each other off.
Each week we take it in turns to nib each other off and bring you a case about how to help you open your eyes to what's really going on.
That's what mibbing off means.
I am your host this week, El Capitan to the street grannies. Granny Moonwalker. And I'm joined, as always, by the grey one. Never is there a stray, misplaced hair on his glorious beard. It's so luscious that it makes panties wet and boxers tight. It's rumoured that the word swoon was created after seeing his beard. Probers, let's give a huge round of applause for Kevin the Grey.
How impressed would you be if I grew my beard out and dyed it grey?
I mean, would you just be growing it further than it is now?
Yes.
And what kind of grey would you be dyeing it?
What kind of grey would you like it?
Already grey. Are you going platinum grey?
Gandalf grey.
Matte grey? Are you getting a hat?
A Gandalf hat?
Yep.
I mean, I can do.
Do it.
I've got a stick in the garden.
I think you should do it.
I got the wizard stick.
Can see you now walking your child to school with the Gandalf stick and the long grey beard and
I
the
walk
wizard
out
hat.
into the middle of the road where there should be a zebra crossing. All the cars honking their horns.
Little sweet baby Elton.
Sweet
Getting all
Viber Elton.
getting all embarrassed by your antics.
If only.
We start our case today in Wisconsin. It's 2003. It's February 1st, 2003. And our witness is anonymous. It was a snowy February in Wisconsin, 2003.
What year was it, sorry? And where?
Wisconsin 2003, keep up.
So we're February, Wisconsin, 2003. Am I correct?
I mean, I don't know how you could get that wrong, considering I literally told you 2 seconds ago. So, probers,
We're
been
in Massachusetts, 2001.
February 1st, Wisconsin, the year 2003.
Thank you.
The anon in question was a woman who was out with her son.
Son?
Whilst he was playing in the snow, she wanted to take some pictures of him playing around.
Understandable.
Whilst the little dude was fucking about in the snow, he noticed something above. He called to his mother and pointed to the sky.
Why you got to drop in an F-bomb and ruin that lovely scenario? That was all nice. And they acknowledged something in the sky. We've got the bloodline from WWE here.
Now, this dude wasn't putting his ones up to acknowledge his tribal chief. He was putting it up to show his mother something twinkle, twinkle, little starring in the sky.
Ooh.
Anon pointed her camera up to the sky and shot this.
Yes, we're going to have evidence. Yes. What the frick? Looks like a jellyfish in the sky.
Evidence.
We've got a grainy photo, understandable. As we've discussed before, when you zoom in, it does get grainy, and this is also 2003 technology. Grainy photo of some tree with what looks like a blue orb with 3 white lights. Okay, I've already seen it. It's bullshit. So, I'm sorry. We've got a blue orb with a triangle of white lights. 2 of the white lights are covered by the tree. The 3rd white light is in front of one of the tree branches. Ergo, this is a digitally created image with a little red speck on it too.
It's a true image taken by her camera. I don't know what you're talking about. From the ground, it appeared to be a balloon.
It does look like a jellyfish, more than a balloon, I would say.
Then she noticed that
kind
it
of
had
see-through.
some lights on it. Not just light.
So powerful, they came through a tree!
The lights would seem to circle the object in different patterns, not just the standard 3 lights at the bottom you would normally see. After looking at it for a while, she noticed that it wasn't circular like a balloon, but actually disc-shaped.
Like a jellyfish.
The object didn't stay in one place.
Like a jellyfish.
It was moving across the sky and would then eventually disappear in the distance. They had no idea what they'd seen, but they were fully aware that it wasn't something normal.
Do you remember that episode we did on sky jellyfish?
Yes,
This
looked like the plastic bag.
This is kind of like that, but without the tentacles.
A tentacle.
Okay, you've shown me another. You're coming hard with the photographic evidence.
Yep.
Again, you're showing me 4 white lights this time. Some are behind the tree, some are in front of the tree.
They're all behind the tree.
This
clearly shot from a distance.
The one on the far right crosses over the tree branch. The one right next to it is behind the same branch.
That's exactly what is not happening there.
Do you know what? Literally 2 nights ago, I was trying to run my phone battery down. It's at 1%, and I'm pretending I like it to go to 0% and recharge it before I go to bed. So I was just zooming in and out on my camera, running it down, and suddenly an orb appeared on my camera. And wherever I was going, this orb was following it around. It looked just like the picture you're showing me, but there was only 1 orb rather than 4.
So you had an
couldn't see it, but on my
UFO
screen it was showing up, and I've never had that before. Possibly, or a spirit
that you couldn't see.
Yes, it may have been some sort of artifact of the light as I was pointing my camera mainly at the mirrors on my wardrobe. But like I say, looked just like that.
Spirit orb. What did you do after that? Did you just shrug your shoulders, or did you investigate?
My mind went back to a historic episode. It may have been one of your birthday episodes where you said that if you were to pass away and become a spirit, you would haunt me. So I wondered if that was you.
Died.
Not necessarily died, but you'd died at some point in the future and travelled back, and this was you starting that process. I was like, oh, Grandma. Then it disappeared. Then the phone died.
So I clearly came to say hello. You said all right, and I left.
Pretty much. Whilst I was in my underwear.
Standard.
You came to mib off. That has nothing to do with the case.
Does it?
Glad that we got photos. I wonder if anyone else will have seen the same incident.
What, the UFO?
Yes.
Or...
Not me in my underwear.
Oh. Well, I'm unsure. On the 3rd of February at around 9 p.m.
What year was it again? 2007.
2003. And Michael J. was letting his dog out.
Michael J. Fox, damn it.
Which he did most nights. But this time, things were different. This time, he noticed something falling from the sky. This something looked like a falling star that began to hover in one spot. It would hover, then move, and then hover again. Michael J. Foxy would rush to try and get his camera, and he succeeded.
Yes.
How rare is it, Grey Nuts, that we have more than one form of physical evidence?
So very rare.
Here is a picture of what he saw.
So this was 2 days after the first sighting in the same area, yeah? Mm-hmm.
As you can see, Greybeard, definitive proof. That is what I would be saying to you if his camera would have taken any of the pictures that he took.
I was like, where's the photo? I was thinking something had happened with your notes and it printed out somewhere else.
Although we don't have any physical proof from MJ,
had to be done.
We do have his description of it. A disc-shaped object with a yellow and white glow.
I find myself wondering, all these sightings of UFOs, and they're always different colours, like sometimes you have a white glow, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's blue. Are they all the same colour, really, just moving in different directions at different distances?
It differently.
So the light's being refracted differently.
Same way sometimes if you look up at a star,
yes,
it can appear yellow or white or blue.
Obviously the closer ones are one colour and the ones moving away from us are a different colour, etc.
I think that is exactly what happens.
So we should put skepticism to one side when we're talking about lights moving forward, is what you're saying.
No.
Say it, because I want to remind you of that every time. Couldn't resist it.
The moment I saw the name Michael J, I was like, oh, it's got to be Fox, but I can't put Michael J. Fox because it...
MJ Foxy, combination of the two. Back to the Future would have been a whole different type of film.
Slow down, Doc. Come on. The next day, Thomas E. was driving along the road when his eye caught something in the sky.
Tom E.
Thinking it was a plane, he thought nothing of it. But then he noticed that it wasn't moving towards him. He was moving towards it. Stationary, Greybeard.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That means it wasn't moving.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As he drove under it, he would take a wild, allegedly truthful estimation that it was about 300 feet from the ground. Another estimation was that it was about 40 foot in length and 15 foot wide.
Goddamn.
This one, however, wasn't disc-shaped like the previous experiences. This one was boat-shaped.
Boat. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat.
I really want to hear that song now. Windows or lights?
A skyboat. What? Final Fantasy 7?
12?
12?
Sky
10?
Pirates?
It's 12, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I can recall playing it, but I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, you're flying around the world on a boat. You're on a boat.
And your name's Van, or pronounced Vane, V-A-A-N. Then you had, I think, was it Balthazar or Balthier, Fran, and that's all I can remember.
Well, I can't even remember what happened, let alone the characters. Just remember a boat. That's all I remember from most games, to be honest. Boat.
You played Final Fantasy 7, didn't you?
Phenomenal, yep. At the time.
Have you tried the remake?
Don't want to tarnish that, because that lives in my memory as one of the best games I ever played. And I played it at a time where things hadn't moved on so much that it's like if you went back to play GoldenEye now, it wouldn't be the same.
Oh, no.
And I don't want to ruin the memories.
So I never played Final Fantasy 7, but I tried the remake.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it to a point.
Yeah.
And then I just got bored.
Ah. Oh,
everyone tells me how incredible the game is, but I'm like, I don't know if you're saying it's incredible on nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking bored.
It was the story that kept me hooked when I was younger, to be fair, with 7.
Yeah, I'd agree. Same with me in 9. 9's where I started.
Yeah. I was just going to say, almost a year after it came out, I have finally completed Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The one game I've played in the last year. It's only taken me a year to finish. It came out like a week today, probably over a year when this episode drops, but it takes me a long ass time.
Do you know what?
What?
I also bought it when it came out.
You haven't played it yet, have you?
I'm still on the tutorial level.
Oh, son.
I can't.
To be fair, it's a huge game and it's, I mean, I know I play like 5 minutes a week, if that, and I've not touched anything since. I probably won't touch anything for another 6 months. But great game, but yeah, time commitment.
Oddly.
Time I don't really have.
Yeah, I think in this day and age,
I'm not going to have.
where I do not have as much free time as I had before, I don't like my games to give me that much choice.
Yeah.
I like choice, but Zelda's like, that's a ridiculous
Zelda. You can literally, go anywhere, do anything.
And I know that I will pick it up, I'll play a bit, and then like a month later I'll come back and I'll be like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing or where I'm going.
Kind of like my experience, I think I've said this before, on The Witcher 3. Within like an hour, I had about 40 or 50 missions all over the place, and I just got overwhelmed. It's like, nope, can't do it. It's too much. And I just sat in a corner rocking, turned it off, and haven't played it since. Need time, and my circumstances do not offer the kind of time you need to get into an experience like that. I'm genuinely debating getting like a Nintendo Switch Online account and just the 5 minutes I get playing like Splatoon or Mario Kart. It's pretty much all I can offer myself at this point.
I'm going to tell you to do something even better than that. Get rid of your Xbox, get a PS5.
Helldivers.
Yep. You can literally hop in, 20-minute stints, hop back out. That game is phenomenal.
Yeah, but
Bill, be a man!
I'll have a baby by the time this episode comes out.
Every day is a good day to die for democracy.
Now, I don't get usually more than 10 minutes completely undisturbed because Moxley just wants to cuddle and sit on me all the time. It's very rare he will give me more than that. He's not like proper disturbing, but I wouldn't be able to sit and concentrate because he'll be on me obscuring my view or whatever.
Let him play too.
Get him a headset. He'll be like,
That'll be fine.
be a man, Bill.
Lights or windows could be seen along each side of the hovering boatcraft object.
Oh, yeah. We're doing an episode.
And Tom E. believes that he could see people in those windows.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow lights were visible and the craft was silent.
Deadly.
A fact that I think if we were to hear that a craft actually made some noise now, we'd be shocked.
Yeah, yeah.
Every craft is silent. Stealth. Tom E. would continue on his way until the craft was out of sight. He wasn't sticking around to see anything more.
Smart. This man was not getting slabbed. Thome was having none of it.
Tom E.
How does he know that it was people and not aliens that he could see in the windows?
I think by
Is he confident it was people and
people, he just means he could see beings
figures?
or
Okay,
figures.
because I was wondering if he could distinguish human features in the figures.
Skyboat.
This comes back to a theory we've discussed on probably a couple of previous episodes about aliens being us from the future rather than
Aliens.
people or creatures from other galaxies and universes and whatnot.
That would be correct. Yes.
I don't know if that makes it more or less believable, but it's interesting. It makes me feel like the person is potentially bullshitting less somehow. I don't know why that is, because it's less out there. I saw a little green man.
Yeah.
I saw humans in a ship that shouldn't be there, shouldn't be doing what it's doing. That somehow just feels a little bit more tangible evidence. Probably completely irrational, but it's where my mind is at right now.
If we were to come back to visit the past in a boat or craft or anything like that,
Yeah.
why do you think we would?
To build the pyramids. To
So-
really confuse people in the future.
Do you think we're doing it to the benefit of
No.
humanity now, or for the benefit of humanity
I
in
reckon-
the future,
Humanity in the future.
or just a history lesson?
That's exactly what I was about to say.
history.
Two possibilities. One, it's like school. They go back and study history directly. Two, they're travelling back just to study because they can do that with their technology of the future. So whilst we look for artifacts and whatnot,
They're like,
we
let's
dig.
go and see how they.
They physically travel
Actually-
back to check out how and why things were done from the sky where people shouldn't be able to see them. Unless these mother truckers in the 2000s with their camera phones.
You know how on school trips, sometimes the person that's driving the bus or something gets lost or detoured. Can you imagine these motherfuckers are coming back to study and they get like their destination wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Turn up in like a sex dungeon.
For all the place.
See,
all the kids on
See,
board.
yeah,
They
see,
meant to go
all
and
sorts
see-
of kinky shit going on, and they're like, "What?"
They meant to go and see like the Taj Mahal at its creation, but instead they end up in a dirty sex dungeon.
Yep. No diddy.
Why is that person wearing a belt with 3 tentacles, miss?
Well, a year later, in 2004, on the evening of June 18th, Mike H. was visiting his family at their lakeside home. It was a family affair, plenty of food, drink, games, and good times. And when there's good times, photos are taken.
They clearly weren't playing Monopoly.
Clearly not.
No good times there.
When they looked back over the photos of the evening, one in particular stood out.
Did it now?
In this picture, An object could be seen in the distance above the trees, and we have that very picture. Greybeard, we have more physical evidence.
Do we actually this time?
Yeah, physical evidence.
Okay, that looks like a balloon. We've got quite an idyllic photo of like a river or a river coming from a lake, a brook.
Yeah, lakeside.
Yeah. Mountains in the background, forest in front. Kind of
Disc-shaped
behind
object.
one of the trees is a kind of off balloon shaped object. If it turned a little bit to the left, it would look like a balloon, but it's on the side like it's crashing. But I don't. That's really hard to make out what it is because it's so dark. I've got no idea what that is, yeah, unless it's like a blip in the photo itself. That's a confusing one.
It's a craft.
There's a little bit in the corner of this image Mr. Moonwalker showed me that's zoomed in. On the zoomed out version, the blip looks like it's behind the tree, whereas in the zoomed in one, it kind of looks like it goes over the tree. Yeah, I'm less certain as to what that is than the other image you've showed me. I do have a question not necessarily related to that.
Mm-hmm.
Why do all the people in this probe have one-letter surnames?
Simply because where I got the information from, it didn't give their surnames.
Tom E. Mike H.
Michael
These
J.
are Mibs.
Foxy.
They're all one-letter surnames.
We also did have someone that was anonymous.
Anon E.
This is all we have on this one, Grey Nuts. But look at that evidence. What's that? Sign you up. Greybeard is in, everyone. He's in.
I mean, that's going a little bit far.
He's in. This is the part of the probe we would normally turn to science and skepticism. But today, we're going to summarize. We have multiple experiences of UFOs in the same area, all within a year. They're all from reliable sources and all come with evidence, kind of. We have Anon, who was out with her son when he pointed up to the sky, and as they watched the object in the sky, Anon took a picture of it. The second one is where Michael J. Foxy would let his dog out and would look up to see a craft hovering in the sky. He would attempt to take photos, but none would appear after he'd taken them. Tom E. would be driving along the road when he saw what he thought was a plane heading towards him, to then realise that it wasn't a plane, it wasn't a bird, it was Superman. The plane wasn't heading towards him, but him heading towards a craft. He estimates that the craft was 300 foot above the ground and around 40 foot in length and 15 feet wide. It had windows along the side of it and was shaped like a boat. Last but not least, we look at the case of Mike H., who went to a family reunion. They took family pictures, and amongst those was a strange object spotted above the trees. No one actually saw it that night. It was just seen in the photos afterwards. So Greybeard, what I ask you is, do you believe that this area was a hive of UFO activity? Or are these cases just bullshit and people trying to capitalize off one case?
Before I answer that, when you said Superman, I just pictured Superman. Oh, watching crack out. Yeah. That dance, yes indeed. So I think two of these images are bullshit. One of them is harder to work out. There's not enough in the one with the black object.
So the 4 pictures that we saw, you think 2 of them are bullshit?
We didn't see one of those images, Mr. Moonwalker. Also, most people, I think, might have had cameras on their phone by 2004 when that one was not taken.
I mean,
when he went to get his camera.
not really.
Really?
Think back to the first phone you had with camera and video.
Yeah.
I mean,
2002.
with a decent one, at least half decent one.
2023.
There you go.
Camera's a camera. Could have Polaroided up in this biatch.
I think that phone's in a museum now.
That was a wonderful phone. Yeah, I don't really know what I think about that other photo. It's so hard to make out. I mean, there's nothing to suggest it's aliens. No one saw anything. Whether that's just... sometimes when you take photos, you do get blips and blobs on them.
Mm-hmm.
Have I shown you that one of Moxley? I can't remember where I've put it now.
No, you haven't.
Second, dear probers. Yeah, there we go. Here's a photo of Moxley.
Yes. He is standing up and he has a bow tie on, it would seem. He's about to walk forward and bite someone's nuts off.
I would say he looks like a demonic ghost in that photo. There's no reason why it came out like that. Camera was being held steady.
Yeah, but he's moved, hasn't he?
Not in the way that the photo has come out. He would have gone down to up, not left to right. He don't walk on two legs.
Yeah, but the motion, he's not going to go up in a straight line. He's going to slightly go across to the side.
Screw your science. That's a ghost photo.
Ghost dog.
Are you not saying that that's a ghost photo?
I'm not saying it's a ghost.
Then I'm not saying that this is aliens.
What? Really?
You penny mother trucker.
I want some vinegar with that salt.
And if you're going to give me some chippies.
I really want some chippies.
There is a chip shop round the corner from here.
I know.
It's a good chip shop, actually.
But I'm going to get some curry.
This is family business.
Family. Going to go see some family.
Business.
My mama going to cook some food. I'm going to eat. Then I'm going to leave. Pull up. Grab a plate. Eat some food.
Not say a word.
No, I don't believe any of these are aliens. Like you said, that very first picture with the lights going over the tree.
Yeah.
It was the red light that triggered that for me because it's clearly like a Photoshop light.
Yes.
And also the second one, I noticed the same thing with the branches. And the third one, yep, clearly you can't see anything because there's no picture. And the last one, the one that you said was a little bit weird, Photoshopped.
Yeah.
So I don't believe any of these are real. What I think is these stories were made up and put out there on the internet to not sell a book, but to get clicks on websites and get stories out there about UFOs. I think these are totally made up. I don't think any of the people that are listed in them actually exist.
There's a distinct lack of evidence as to the people involved, isn't there?
Absolutely. I saw this person saw this, and that's it. There's no reporting to police. There's no telling of other people. There's no multiple witnesses. It's literally one person per case, apart from the first one, but it's a mother and child.
Mm-hmm.
And in quite a lot of the cases that we've covered before, where there's UFOs and dogs, the dogs go mad. Not necessarily mad, but they start barking and they know something's off. Nothing about that in this one.
Yeah. Not quite enough meat on the bone, as we often say.
Indeed.
And we like meat on this podcast.
Hell yeah, we do. Meat. Thank you for joining us for this week's probe. You can find us everywhere at But It Was Aliens. That's Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as and we have a Facebook group called Extraterrestrial Towers, where you can find like-minded individuals, mummy memes, and sometimes more. You can also find us at Patreon. .com or .com? / But It Was Aliens, where we cover things outside of the extraterrestrial, like psychic dogs, reincarnation, ghosts, pirates, Savvy, and the Pegging Prince.
And it won't have released yet, but Snippy Snizzer. I've done it again. That'll make sense if you sign up for the Patreon.com. Snippy Scissorhands, the Midnight Merkin maker.
As always, I've been Moonwalker, and he has been Greybeard. Remember, the truth is up there. Hashtag Wah.